Centennial Schultz Clinic with another weekly update. Thank you for checking in. Today what we're going to be talking about briefly from a 20,000 or 30,000 foot view are the different types of stem cell treatments that are available. You must be bombarded on the internet and on the radio for all the different stem cell types. But let me simplify it for you here, right here today. We're going to talk that they're not all the same. What are the primary sources of stem cells? And what are the important differences so you can get better? Summer's almost upon us. It's going to be a fabulous time to get out. Hopefully COVID, for the most part, will be in our rearview mirror so we can go out and enjoy our friends and family, and you can be active. So let's get started. Most importantly, not all stem cells are the same. That's right. They're just not all the same, even though people will tell you that. So is a Yugo the same as your Ferrari or your Tesla? I don't think so. So right out of the gate, you need to know that there are important differences. So what are the principal sources of stem cells here in America? Well, there's three. There's bone marrow, there's adipose, otherwise known as fat, and then you may get lulled into some deception here. People are selling birth tissue, amniotic fluid, Wharton's jelly, and calling it stem cells. That is absolutely not true. We have done the studies, as have Cornell and the University of California. There are no living stem cells in birth tissue. So for the purposes of this short presentation, we're going to talk about the two major types of stem cells, bone marrow and fat. Are there important differences? Absolutely. We were the first clinic in the world in 2005 to inject cells into the human disc. That's right. And what did we use? We did not use fat. We used bone marrow derived cells. Most importantly, the stem cells that come from bone marrow are well studied. The majority of the published literature today in the studies that have evaluated stem cell therapy, you have utilized bone marrow. And they're also free to attach to the area of defect. For example, if I have a rotator cuff issue, if I have a problem in my hip labrum, if my anterior cruciate in my knee is damaged, the bone marrow derived cells can freely attach. Now, the other type of cell comes from fat. Now, there are much fewer studies, but the single most important thing I want you to know is that fat is stuck. It's kind of stuck in this fiberglass. It's called stroma. That's right. So they're actually those fat globules that contain the stem cells are bound into this fiberglass kind of meshwork, and you cannot release them. Now, you can use some enzymes to break it up, but you go to prison. That's illegal in the United States. So the best you're going to do is kind of get a fatty graft. So in 2021, bone marrow is your best choice. If you use adipose, it's sparingly. We've been doing this for 16 years. We are your local experts. Don't be confused by all the hype. If you or a loved one has a problem, let us share our experience with you. Again, not all stem cell treatments are the same. The two major sources of stem cell are adipose and fat. Of the two, bone marrow derived has certainly been much more studied and evaluated, and the cells are free to attach to the area of injury. Fat, on the other hand, not as well studied, but most importantly, they're prisoners of this stroma or fiberglass. I hope this helped. Happy April. We'll see you next week.